Māori All Blacks get the job done over Moana Pasifika. It was a pretty entertaining game, man, down in Hamilton. If you haven't seen it, should be able to check with your local broadcasters. I'm sure there'll be some highlights of it on the All Blacks YouTube channel at some point. There were some magic tries in this one. I'll go over some of the key points of the game. Stats are going to be pretty hard to find for this game, I would imagine, because it's a one-off and not part of any regular competition. But I did see some of the regular stats that they put on the halftime screen, so I've got a couple of those anyway, but nothing much in any great detail. But anyway, like I mentioned, pretty good game. There was still a bit of rust from both teams, but that's to be expected. These guys have had a pretty limited amount of prep time, but from the time that they had a pretty good showing. The Māori All Blacks conceded a penalty pretty much straight from the kickoff, so Moana Pasifika went into a 3-0 lead early with Josh Ioane kicking the first penalty. 5 minutes, the Māori All Blacks had a first proper bit of pressure. They went down the Pasifika end, ended up with a 5-metre scrum. The TMO did check to see if the Māori All Blacks had scored through, I think it was Messam, on 7 minutes, but they ruled that there was double movement, so Moana Pasifika managed to get out of jail on that one. 10 minutes, Moana Pasifika won a penalty with the Māori All Blacks being offside in front of the kicker, and suddenly it's 6-0. And I don't know, man, it was looking like Moana Pasifika taking some chances down the Māori All Blacks end, and the Māori All Blacks have not done the reverse. 14 minutes, Reasi beat Otere Black to a high ball, and at that point I think the momentum was probably as much with Moana Pasifika as it was ever going to be during this game. But it's right after that Caleb Trask seems to have opened the scoring. Now it gets chalked off. Stevenson goes down the right wing. He pops the ball to Trask, but Trask, as he's going over for his try, they pan the camera back to the touch judge, and it says that he's got a foot in touch. So no go for that one. However, he did get it about 5 minutes later. This time it was Trask again. Bryn Hall with a pinpoint pass put him through a gap. I don't even know if anyone touched him. And suddenly the Māori All Blacks are in the lead, 6 points for Moana Pasifika, 7 points for the Māori All Blacks. So first lead change of the game, won't be the last. Moana Pasifika knock on right on the Māori All Blacks line after going like 10 phases. It's Paia who's the guy who knocks it on. No, he's the one with the offload. And there's a knock on. It was a tough offload in that position going over the goal line falling, but yeah, it was a missed opportunity. 34 minutes, Moana Pasifika get a penalty at the breakdown, and they kick it, so they go back in front, 9 points to 7. There's some handbags right before halftime. They do show the final stats for the first half, and the Māori All Blacks had slightly more possession, slightly more territory, but overall it was pretty close. Second half gets underway, and Moana Pasifika concede a penalty at the breakdown, and they decide they're going for touch. They're not going for any three-pointers, and it pays off because Dixon gets a try from a maul, and they are back in front with it 14-9. Tupaia goes down the left wing on 49 minutes. A little kick and regather. He offloads to Proctor. That's probably the try of the game on 49 minutes. I think it was a proper little bit of beauty. The way the ball sat up for Tupaia was proper magic. The take from Proctor from a tricky pass was also pretty magic. So it's 21 points to 9. At that point, it's almost looking like it's dead and buried. 52 minutes, Moana Pasifika go 9+ phases, and Whakatava's passes are just on point, man. They're right in front of the defensive line, so when the Moana Pasifika guy is taking the ball into contact, he's got the momentum going forward. So that's just what he can bring. We've seen it all year for Hawke's Bay, and eventually they get the try through Motunga, and it's 53 minutes for that one, so it's 21 points to 14. So back to one try in it. Oteri Black on 58 has a great touch finder from his own half, puts it like 5 meters out from the goal line, but they couldn't manage to get any points from it. The game kind of settles back into its rhythm, but 68 minutes, the Māori All Blacks finally do get some more points. And it was interesting because it was all from a big scrum. Their big scrum won them a big penalty, and they went through some phases. I mean, Karpik put a little step in at the end, but he probably could have forced his way over even without the step. So it's 28 points to 14. Like 10 minutes to go by the time they've kicked the conversion. It seems like that's pretty much dead and buried. But there's still 10 minutes to go for Moana Pasifika, and they put in a big scrum of their own about 5 minutes before half time. They win a penalty, and then they get a try through Politai Val. It's from a scrum. There's loose ball, and it just pops out the back of a scrum. He grabs it, little shimmy, and he goes over. So I think he beats Oteri Black and at least one or two other guys to get the ball to ground. It's 28-21, so all in time for a grandstanding finish. But the Māori All Blacks see it out pretty well, to be fair. So I think they went through 12 phases at the end, the Māori All Blacks, to kind of kill the game off, and they did it. They did it pretty well. So, yeah, overall, pretty entertaining game. There wasn't much on it. I would say the Māori All Blacks probably had the better of the stats, if we can find them. The post-match stuff is still going on here as I record this video, but I haven't seen anything too pressing kind of pop up to be noteworthy. But yeah, man, overall, fun game. Good way for some of these guys to end the year. Who knew Brendan Pickerel, the touch judge, had such good hands? He took a really good ball out on the left wing for I guess Moana Pasifika, because they were the ones who passed the ball to him. But he's in a white kit. Their kit's also pretty white, so maybe they thought he was a winger out in some space. Oh, there you go. Possession 53-47, territory 58-42 to the Māori All Blacks. Time in opposition 22, 6 minutes 40 to 3 minutes 50. So yeah, man, the Māori All Blacks, turnovers conceded 16 by Moana Pasifika, 10 by the Māori All Blacks. So yeah, the stats kind of tell the story. The Māori All Blacks maybe could have even won by more, but that last try really did well to bring them close, but still not quite close enough. So yeah, fun game, like I mentioned. Will we see a game like this ever again? I don't know. It may just go down as a one-off in a COVID year, but either way, it's certainly been a welcome one. The crowd was decent without being spectacular. And yeah, if you guys saw it, let me know what you thought. If you haven't seen it, I would say there should definitely be some highlights on the All Blacks YouTube page at some point. ESPN Plus will have the full game on their service. But yeah, you guys have any thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.